Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, live from the Beehive this morning. Today's an exciting day. It's May 1st, the start of a new month, and today Stampin' Up! Has released the new Share What You Love suite to customers, and it will be in the new catalog that's starting on June 1st. But today, customers can start ordering 3 different bundles from the catalog. And so I'll share those bundles with you a little later on. I'll show you pictures, and I've got the product here too. But it's also Casing Tuesday, and it's the day when we take a card out of one of the current catalogs and we copy it, and it's always a specific card. We choose one every week. We've got a group of bloggers now, and they get to choose as well, and we pick one card and we all copy the same card. Now, when I say copy, we don't, some of us might copy the card exactly, but most of us take the card and we change it and make it our own. We use a different stamp set, maybe a different color combo, but we just take it and we use maybe the layout or something of the card, and we make it our own. And so it's kind of a fun process because we go on there, we post our cards on Tuesday morning, and we get to see all the different ways you can change up the card. So the catalog really is a great resource for samples and for ways that you can use your supplies, and you don't just have to make the card the way you see it in the catalog. You can use that as a basis for creating other cards. So I encourage you, while the Facebook Live is going on, please post questions if you have them. If you see something that I'm doing and you have a question about it, please post it. If you see something that I'm doing wrong, or if I said that's a different product, sometimes I get my product names messed up. And also, when you're doing a video, your brain's like concentrating on the video, so sometimes the things that you think you're saying aren't coming out correctly. Your brain's telling you this is what you're saying, but you're not really saying it. I've had that really interesting experience when I go back and edit my videos. Like, I say, this is a pencil and it's really a pen, you know what I mean? And you are convinced in your brain that you said pencil or pen, either one, and it's the other way around when you look back and you're like, wow, if I'm like that on my video, I wonder how I'm like that in my real life. You know how you sometimes are convinced this is what you said, and the person says, no, you didn't say that. And so it's really interesting, this whole taping yourself and seeing, wow, some of the things I said, maybe I didn't actually say them that way. So all right, that's a lot of blah, blah, blah for this morning. I'm so happy to see you all here this morning. I've got a whole bunch of people from different places. It's starting to be a little bit more like spring here, but I am still cold. It's cold in the house in the morning, so I'm still wearing a turtleneck. I don't know, some of you probably can't stand turtlenecks, but I kind of live in them in the winter, and the turtlenecks that I wear, if any of you are interested, this is just an aside, and then I'll start back on the card. But do you know the company called Cuddle Duds? Okay, so this is like a super thin turtleneck, and it is so soft. So I kind of live in them all winter. I have different colors. And then what I do to keep my core warm and my arms free is I wear a down vest over my turtleneck. So it's a very light layer with a turtleneck on top. So it's actually very soft and cuddly, and it keeps my neck warm. It keeps, you know, the drafts out. So that's what I wear, but it is still cold in the house. I haven't been able to change my wardrobe yet. Later in the day, I sometimes wear something differently, but in the morning, I'm so cold. All right. Let's turn this camera around, and I'm going to show you the card we're casing and what we're doing, and then I'll make it for you. Let's hit the little turn around button. Hello to everyone who's here this morning. Okay, so there's my view this morning. We're a little bit overcast, but there's some blue skies. I don't know if it's going to rain later. I have no idea. I should know, but you know what? All I was worried about today was, is it raining this morning? Because I walk in the morning, and if it's raining too hard, I will walk inside. I have a treadmill. Do any of you guys have a treadmill? I love my treadmill. I love walking outside, but I love my treadmill as a backup because there's never any excuse for me not to walk. So I love having that as a backup. Okay, so here's the card that we are casing. And I think this card really got lost in the annual catalog. It's gray. It's small. Like if you look at it on the page, it's really small in the bottom corner. And I can't remember who chose this, but I think it's a really great beginner card to case. So last week's card was really complicated. So this week's card, I love it because it's nice and easy for new people. And it's got some just, you know, easy layers to duplicate. You can make it more fancy or not as fancy, but it's a nice layout. So here is what I did with the card. I kept it fairly simple, but I did some repeat stamping with the flowers there. And I'm using the Share What You Love bundle. So I'm just gonna show you, I've got the flyer here. So there's 3 different bundles that can be ordered. There's the Just Getting Started bundle, which the main thing you'll need to stamp my card is the Love What You Do stamp set. So that's included in all 3 bundles. So that's kind of why I chose this stamp set as opposed to the other 2 stamp sets, because I know that everyone who gets a bundle will get this one. And then the beginner bundle has the Old Olive and the Grapefruit Grove ink pad included in it, as well as some vanilla cardstock and vanilla note cards and envelopes and a block. And then when you go to the Little More Please bundle, you'll get the Love What You Do stamp set, and you'll get the Make a Difference stamp set. And this is a really beautiful alphabet stamp set. Now, these things on the front are a little smaller than what you're actually going to get. So they're a little bit bigger. They're maybe the biggest one is maybe not quite an inch in height. But they're like, a lot of them are about maybe 3/4 of an inch tall. Some of them are really tiny, like only 1/4 inch, depending on what letter it is. And it also has some cute little greetings in it down here, like some hashtags, like hashtag make a card, hashtag send a card. So it's kind of a cute stamp set. And then this pack also has cardstock in it. It has the pearlized doilies, which are these little guys right here. It's got the rich raspberry velvet ribbon, and it's got these little artisan pearls in it. What else we got? Oh, and it's got the Share What You Love embellishment kit. And I haven't even opened this yet. This is still sealed. I need to crack this open, but I won't do that now. And this has a whole bunch of fun embellishments in it that you can add on. Then the Gotta Have It All bundle. It has all the things that I mentioned before. Plus, it has the Statement of the Heart stamp set, which is something that demonstrators, we really, love this stamp, because it talks about, why, kind of our why statement. But it's also a nice statement to have in general, to love what we do and share what we love as we help others enjoy creativity and worthwhile accomplishments. In this, we make a difference. So, it's a nice general kind of statement of, being creative and helping others in their creativity. So that's kind of cool. So the other thing you get in this bundle is the lovely floral dynamic embossing folder, and I'll be using that today. It's just a nice, it's probably very hard to see here. I kind of double embossed this piece, so you can't really see exactly how I embossed it. I'll show you later on the piece that I'm going to emboss, and you'll be able to see it better. I almost completely forgot the thing that people love the most about probably the Got It, Have It All bundle is the Designer Series paper. And I didn't use it today because it is the most expensive bundle, and I wanted to use a stamp set that everyone could get and use today because it's cheaper. So we've got some really pretty, like, I think this is probably the prettiest paper, but it's got some really beautiful blooms and some neutrals on the back. So it's very, very useful, pretty paper. And it's quite a big pack. I think we have, let me read. We have 24 sheets in it. So it's a double what we normally have in our Designer Series paper pack. So it is very cool. The other thing you can get today, before I stamp my card, is you can get the In Color collection, the new ink pads as a bundle, and they are discounted 10% if you get all, well, you have to buy them as a bundle, but they are discounted at 10% off as a grouping. And so if you're interested, are you interested in what the new ink pads look like and get them in your hands, you can order this for $33.75 and you can get the new ink pads into your hands and check them out. And I love these new colors. They're very bright and bold, and they'll energize you for the upcoming spring and summer, or not, we're already in spring, but upcoming summer months. These are really great colors, and I can even see, like, Call Me Clover will be a great Christmas green, so I can see that these colors will be used a lot. I love them. So it's kind of a neat way to get your hands on things. Here are mine. Just pull them out real quick. Where did my orange go? Oh, I pulled it over here. So these are the actual colors, and I love these new ink pads. The swatch on the front is bigger. You open them right here at the front. There's a little, place for you to lift up, and then you open them and then you can slide them in. So that's kind of cool. What else? Oh yeah, and there's always the stickers. Don't forget the stickers at the bottom. There's stickers at the bottom, so you can put a sticker here, and you can put a sticker. They have a bold stripe sticker with no name on it, and you can put that right inside your ink pad now. So if you're doing stamping of different colors, see how this yellow on the pad looks orange? So sometimes when you're stamping, you can't really tell if your pad's closed what color it is. So now you'll have a reminder of what color you're stamping down here. This is the color it's going to actually look like, not the color of the foam pad. So that's kind of cool. That's just a couple of features. And look how nicely they stack up. So that's kind of neat too, to have those. So, get your hands on them, and then you can test them out with, the 5 ink pads and see how you like the new pens. Okay, let's stamp. Let's stamp this card. Let me move some of the stuff out of the way so it doesn't become chaos for me. So what I would do to start with this card, I will need a piece of scrap paper. So I've got my grid paper here. This is a piece of Whisper White, and I've cut this piece to 4 inches by 2 1/4 inches. I'm going to be using an ink pad that was an In Color in the past, and that is not yet available this month if you don't have it, but you might have it in your collection because it was around a few years ago. It's Mossy Meadow. If you want to stamp this card today or soon, you can always use always artichoke would be a good substitute for this, or any other green that you wish to use, but I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. It's I actually really loved Mossy Meadow when it was there, and so I was like, oh, let's use Mossy Meadow. And Mossy Meadow also is one of the colors in the paper, so that also inspired me. I've got my little stamp on a block already, so I'm just going to ink it up. Maybe I'll go like this. So what I want to do is I'm going to stamp one flower right kind of in the center as my center flower, and then I just, doesn't have to be perfect. Notice how I've got a little ink on my block right there. I'm just going to wipe that clean a little bit so it doesn't interfere. And then I just come in really pretty close, but I'm bringing it down a little bit. So I'm getting ink on my block. There might have been a better ink block to put this on, but I just felt like this one was probably going to be the best one. Then I'm going to put this one right next to it. Doesn't matter if you overlap a little bit. I'm just trying to get them on there a little bit different heights just to create a little bit of interest. And I've got a little bit of ink on here again. I'm just going to wipe that off so it doesn't transfer. So I'm just creating a little pattern. Okay, that's good. I still had ink on there and I was worried about that one. And then just got a little bit down here. I'm just going to add this right down here at the bottom. So that is all the stamping I need to do. And I'm just going to move this off to the side because I really don't need that. And I am using an aqua painter, and I'm going to be using 3 colors that we already have. We have Daffodil Delight. Let me just go ahead and I'm going to squeeze the lid a little bit. We have Calypso Coral, and we have Berry Burst. All right, and then I'm going to use my aqua painter, and when I'm using it, I always have a tissue nearby to squeeze some of the water through. Okay, I think it's finally coming through. So I'm just going to grab this, and I'm going to start with my lightest color. I actually don't think there's any water coming through here. This one was giving me problems yesterday. Let me grab, they come with a big tip and a little tip. Okay, this one feels like it's going to be better. All right, I just switched this. Just want to make sure that I can get a little bit of water. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. I don't want it too wet, but the other one was like not coming out at all. And so now I'm like, now I've got a lot of water, so I'm going to just not try and get in the concentration of the water. Okay, you know right now that I am using, Mossy Meadow is not a permanent ink, right? So, and aqua painters are pretty wet. So it is going to cause a little bit of bleeding with the Mossy Meadow. And guess what? I don't care because I want that kind of look. I don't want it to be, it's okay if it washes out just a little bit. So I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, then you might want to use a blender pen because that doesn't cause the ink to run as much. Oh, I want that a little darker. So I'm just adding this, and I'm trying not to be too careful about the lines either. I want this to kind of be more of a watercolor look, and I want it to be able to be somewhat fast to recreate. Okay, I did that one. I'm just looking at my pattern from before. I'm just trying to recreate what I did before. This one needs a little bit more color. Okay, and then I've got my Berry Burst one in the center, and I'll just come in and hit the flowers. You can do your own color combination. Like you could do whatever your heart desires. Like you could add a blue into here too. I'm just trying to keep it, you know, colors that I would probably see in my garden midsummer. Maybe zinnias would look like this. You know, they've got the purpley colors and the oranges and the yellows. So Okay, I think I like the way that looks. Let me get my ink pads out of the way before they cause havoc. All right, so then we need some pieces for our card, and one of the pieces that we need to still do a little work on is our vellum backdrop piece. And this piece I've cut to just slightly smaller than the front of a card base. So it's 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And I need to bring my Big Shot in to take care of that. Let me move this away for a second. Okay, so here's my vellum piece, and here is that embossing folder. And all of these pieces in the bundle, except for the Statement of the Heart stamp, will be available as individual products starting June 1st. But it's cool if you can get things now, because it's fun to have new stuff. So you can see this is where the embossing folder is just peeking out just on the outside, just to give it a little bit of interest. So what I do is I'm only going to emboss it on one side. I'm going to angle it just a little bit so I have more stuff peeking out on the side. So I've just kind of got just a little bit of an angle. I have to make sure it doesn't go above this line here, because I'm going to be putting it in on its side. So I just need to make sure that I'm not going above that line. Okay, that looks pretty good. I've got my base Big Shot platform here without the thin die adapter on it, so it's right on the base. I can put this embossing folder through on its side like this. And because it's a thick embossing folder, I only need one cutting plate. So put that on top and just run it through. Oh, and one other tip when you're using this, if you want the embossing to come up, make sure the Stampin' Up! Logo is facing up for you, so that you get it on the side that you want with the embossing coming up. Put that away. So see how pretty that embossing folder is? And on the vellum, it just kind of creates a tone-on-tone effect that will be perfect for competing with the busyness of this design. Because this is busy, I don't want anything else to detract from it. So I've got a couple more layers that I need to show you. So this is the card base, and it's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 and scored at the 4 1/4 inch mark. Then I just smoothed down that fold with my bone folder. I did grab a piece of Mossy Meadow, which is an old ink color that's come back, and I happen to have it still around. And this layer is 3 1/2 inches by 2 3/4 inches. So the way that I put this together is, first I'm going to put my vellum down. Now adhesive can show through vellum, so I'm just going to turn this to the back side. The middle of my card won't be seen, so I could put as much adhesive in the center of this and no one's going to see it. So I'm just going to take some tear and tape and just put it in the center of my card. I'll just put 2 lines on there. That will keep it down. And I'll just remove the backing. Someone said the folder is so pretty. It is. It's just a nice little floral folder, but you can use it, you know, as a focal point on your card. But the nice thing is that you can also use it in the background like I'm doing and just have it be very subtle. So there is that. Before we attach these 2 pieces together, I want to wrap some old olive sheer ribbon around. And this ribbon is already in the catalog, so you can get it now. I have some tools. Oh, there we are. I like to use a pair of locking tweezers to help me hold the knot of my ribbon when I'm tying. You can find these in the beading section of craft stores, they sell them for beading. And so when you squeeze on the bottom, it opens it, and when you release it, it holds it closed. So it creates pressure when you're tying the knot. So I'm just going to wrap this around here and see how much I need approximately. I'm going to grab some scissors. All right. So then I kind of want my knot over on the left side. So I just want to make sure the back is smooth and doesn't have a little wrinkle in it, so that when I go to tie it, it isn't all wonky and it lies flat. So I'm just going to go ahead and make my first knot, and then I'm going to come in here with my locking tweezers, and then I can come in and do the second knot without having to worry about that first knot coming undone and loosening. So there we go, and then you can just adjust it to the right height, and then come in and just cut off the ends to the right point. And then, let me think, how am I going to put this on here? Probably like this. So I can use my tear and tape again, or I can use my Tombow. I love Tombow. And I noticed that Tombow was on the back order list. So other people love Tombow too. I'm putting it in the center because this piece isn't as wide as this one. And then I'll just kind of align it on here first and get it looking straight. Smooth it down. And then to stick it onto the vellum, I think I'm actually going to use the tear and tape again. So let me just go ahead and put a couple of lines of tear and tape on here. Sorry, I'm going off camera. Don't want to do that. And then I could just remove the backing on this. Oh, it's coming. I have no nails right now. Did I tell you about how my son's on the Ultimate Frisbee team, and we were tossing the Frisbee around. We got into like maybe about the 10th toss, and he throws it really hard, and he cracked my thumbnail. So that was the end of me doing Frisbee. Not that I have beautiful nails to begin with, but I'm like, yeah, no, I can't play Frisbee. I can't have my nails like that short all the time. I'm a paper crafter. I need a little bit of a nail to lift up my adhesive and stuff. So, you know, I'm like, wow, that Frisbee's really hard. Frisbee looks like, or Ultimate looks like such a, you know, a nice little sport, you know, but really it's like a bunch of crazy people throwing around a hard disc that can injure people. So there you go. There's the card. I love it. I mean, I started off designing this card, and probably not my usual card. I don't use vellum a lot, but I love how the vellum comes out right here. It was very easy to have it kind of poking out in the backdrop. Maybe I was influenced a little bit by last week's card where I had stuff going out and I said, oh, that's so hard. And now I'm coming in and I'm doing it myself, you know, just on the one side. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I did add a few little rhinestones to this one, just here and there on some of the flower centers. I have got some old, they're not old, but we used to sell rhinestones in rows. And so I've kind of cut them up, and so I don't have a nice sheet of rhinestones right now, but I'm trying to use these up. So you can just grab them on the end of your paper piercer and just kind of add a few here and there rhinestones to your card. And that way it's just a little eye-catching. When you hold it up to the light, you're like, ooh, what's that sparkly? So it's just kind of fun to have them on a few little of the flowers. So that's the card for today. It's not difficult, and I love this new little branch of flowers. It's maybe it looks like hollyhocks or something like that, the way I've stamped them. But okay, I'm just gonna look back to the front and make sure I have seen all your questions. I'll do this here so you don't have to see me look through my reading glasses. Oh yes, and Teresa says, yeah, you need to get a pair of those tweezers. Like I actually have two different pairs. One that came with a kit a long time ago that Stampin' Up! Used to have. It was like a tool kit, and Stampin' Up! Had a pair of locking tweezers in there. That's where when I started using them. But I also had a pair from when I was when I did a little beading. So so it's good to have those on hand. Yeah, okay, there's no questions. So let me turn you guys back around. There, look at my ceiling. It's boring and white. All right. Well, I love that new, the new suite that we have, the new bundles. So that's kind of cool that customers can start getting that now, and you know, start playing with some different product. And I love the little greetings in there. And I know there are a lot of demonstrators besides myself that are going to have samples of what to do with these new stamp sets. And so go online, look at Pinterest, plop it in, and then see what different samples you can see with them. And if you want more information about my card today, you can look at the description of this video. And down below, there's a place to click so you can go to my blog link. And on my blog, you'll find photos of the cards, the photo of the card that I did today. You will find the supply list, and you will find the measurements for all the layers. So if you didn't catch them when I was talking about them, you will be able to go in and see what those are. The other thing you might want to do is we do have a Facebook group where you can join in and show the card that you are making over today. So I should correct that. We try on that group to pick a card, and everyone does that card. You can go back and do the past ones. It is fun occasionally to see someone who's cased a random card of the catalog, but the main purpose of the Casing Tuesday group is that there is one card that we are doing, and we are all doing the same card. That's where the magic is, because we can see, oh, here's the inspiration card, and here are 10 more cards that people have done with that layout or with that color scheme. So that's where you can see, oh, this is how I can expand on how I stamp my cards, learn how to stamp different styles of cards by copying that style. So every week we have a card, and it's pinned to the top of the group, and you can go in and see all the ones that everyone else has done. And then if you're so inspired, you can go and create your own card and then post it there as well. And then we can comment on it. And so it's interactive. So you can be part of this whole casing phenomenon. And so that group is also in the description of this video. So you can go in there and you can ask to join, and someone will approve you, and then you can join us every week. So that is kind of a fun thing. It's the group's always going. I think we've been going, I'm trying to think, we're on number, we are coming up to number 150 at the beginning of June. So we've been doing this for not quite 3 years. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, not quite 3 years. So it's a long time that we've been doing it. The Facebook group, I think, has been around for maybe 2 years. So it's been a while in the making. So we've been around for a while. So I hope you'll join us. And anyway, I wish you guys all a great week, and I hope there's nothing but good stuff coming your way this week. And take a look at those new bundles and tell me what you think. Just put it in the comment down below. So have a great week, guys, and I will be back here next week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care. Bye-bye.